overhead speakers. Let me go to the overhead camera. Again, I'm just testing this out. So if you're attending live, leave a comment and let me know if you can hear the audio. All right, you said you can hear that. Okay, and you can hear me speaking okay. That is perfect. I just want to check, make sure that everyone can hear the audio and then they can hear me playing the keyboard. So today, as I mentioned, it's week 2 for our Essential Piano Teachers weekly group online piano lessons that we teach every week, every Monday at 11 a.m. That is Mountain Standard Time. I live in Utah, so we go according to Mountain Standard Time. But we have our weekly group online piano lessons for our piano teachers who are part of our Essential Piano Teachers weekly online group piano lessons. Now, today we're going to be working out of my book, 100 Left-Hand Patterns. And what I'd like to do, since we're in the month of December, I'd like to focus on section 3. This is found on page 60. This is the Christmas music section. Those of you who are attending live, you can actually leave a comment and you can let me know which of these Christmas, we have 18 different Christmas pieces, you would like to have me embellish or jazz up or arrange. Everything is written in fake book format. If you look at this as an example, okay, God rest you merry gentlemen. We have the melody, and then we have the chords written above, and then it's called a fake book because you fake it. Okay, so we do a lead sheet where you have the melody, and then you have the words, and then above each measure you have the chords, and then we take our knowledge, our piano tools from our piano toolbox, and then we fake it. That is what the entire purpose of a fake book is. So let's see. Okay, away in the manger. Good. All right, let me go to that. So in this book, let's see. All right, on page 70, we have Away in a Manger. Okay. Martin Luther, of course, was the one who came up with this. Now this is Away in the Manger. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you how we can do this in a very pretty, new age, contemporary classical style and feeling. If you look at, again, this is number 75 in the book. It's page 70. And we're in the key of C. All of these are in the key of C. We don't have any sharps. We don't have any flats. But we have the chord written above each measure. Now, this is 3/4 time signature. So I can keep it in 3/4, or I can change to 4/4 or 6/8 or any time signature I want by using one of these left-hand patterns. If we have a left-hand pattern that's in 4/4 time signature, now I went to the New Age Contemporary Left-Hand Pattern section. This is on page 20. If I use one of those left-hand patterns, then I can actually apply that. And what I tell students or teachers, I tell them to use the left-hand time signature of the left-hand pattern and apply that to, in this case, Away in a Manger. So if I have a simple 4/4 left-hand pattern, I can modify the rhythm and the melody of this to match up with my left-hand pattern. Focus on the left-hand pattern and then adjust or modify your rhythm, even your melody, to match the left-hand pattern. That will help you out tremendously. Now, we have C major chord in measure 1. Measure 1. We have a pickup measure. And then we have measure 1, measure 2, measure 3. We have an F major chord. Let me play this for you, and I'll show you how we can start to play around with this. Let me go to the overhead view. Now, what we have, again, this is Away in a Manger. This is just the melody. Right hand plays the melody. And then we have the chords written above up here. Well, to start off with, I'm just going to show you the melody. It's a simple melody, Away in a Manger. And we can change the melody, we can add some different things, and there are different arrangements out there where they have modified the melody a little bit. This is in 3/4 time signature. If I were keeping this in the key signature, time signature it is written in, I could just take, again, with those chords written above each measure, I could take just the note. My left hand, I can play the individual note. If there's a G7th, this is for a G7th chord, I'm going to ignore the 7 and just play a G. Now, to start off with, I can play the root note or I can play an octave interval. I'm going to do an octave interval, but you can just play the root note like this. You can play the root note. I'm going to do an octave interval. My right hand would play just the melody as it is. Okay, if I combine them together, now let me show you a few comments since we've gone this far. Do you see how we don't have anything in this above this measure? We have a C right here, but we don't have anything here. Well, that is because I can keep the C, always play whatever the previous measure was. So in measure 1, I'm going to play a C octave interval. In measure 2, I'm going to play the C octave interval as well. Now, we have F, C, G, ignore the 7th. Right here it says F/C. When you have a slash chord, you can play the C instead of the F. But if you want, you could play the F, and it gives it a slight variation or sound. Many times it's referring to the chord and the inversion. If it said C/G, that would mean the G note from the C major chord. We have C, E, G in the C major triad. If I do first inversion, the C is on top. If I do second inversion, the E is on top and the G is on bottom. They could write this as C/G because the G is on the bottom. That's a slash chord. But when you have F/C, I don't have an F note in the C major triad. So they mean that F/C, sorry, wrong chord. F/C, this is an F major triad. We do have a C in the F major triad. I was going to talk about compound chords and slash chords. We'll talk about compound chords another time. I don't want to confuse you. So now we have F major triad, FAC. First inversion is ACF. Second inversion is CFA. Now, very simple. Well, if I play that chord, I have a C on the bottom. For this purpose, just keep the C octave interval out with the left hand. And then here in measure 15, we have D minor/F, if you see that. D minor/F. So we have that, the left hand, of course, with the D minor triad, we have DFA, first inversion, FAD, second inversion, ADF, back up to DFA. So if I have the F on the bottom, they're saying to play the D minor triad first inversion. We can just play the F octave interval with the left hand. That's all I'm doing. Now, it's a simple, again, I'm just playing these octave notes. Anytime you have the same chord back to back, if I have a C right here in measure 1, measure 2, I know it's going to be the C, because I know if this is blank, I play the chord from the previous measure. So for fun, try jumping from octave to octave. I could play a C octave here and play a different C octave here. Let me start over and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to start at the beginning again. Watch this. Okay, I'll start down. Wait a second. Sorry. Someone had pushed buttons over here and transposed my keyboard. So we were in a different key. It was in the key of G sharp instead of G. So watch this. Very simple with Away in the Manger. That's our starting point. That is what we are starting with. Let me show you how to embellish and arrange it now. Right here, I'm going to take what you see here with the right hand, and I'm going to come back to this left hand position under the New Age Contemporary Left Hand Patterns. This is found on page 20. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take and just do this pattern right here. Pattern 62, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12. We're just going to start with 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, the very first measure. Each measure is a different variation of that pattern. When I say 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, if I start on C, C is 1. D would be 2, E would be 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I say to play a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 pattern, you're going to start on C and play 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Now this is 4/4 time signature and not 3/4. So we're going to modify the rhythm of the right hand to match this left hand pattern. But 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Now, whatever fingering you'd like, you can do 5, you can do the 2 and 1, and then you can do 2, 1, or you can do 5, 2, 1, 3, 2. Now, I will often do 3, 2 if I'm going to continue on. But if I know I'm stopping with this, I'm just going to do the 2, 1. Now, if you notice, I'm doing a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern, but I can start on C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I can do it in any key signature as well. It moves according to the major scale. Whatever major key signature, take the major scale and then just start with 1 as your tonic or root for that key signature. If I'm in the key of C, I'll have you practice playing it on C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So watch this. Then go to D. Then start on E. Then F. We're only using white keys for now. Then G. Then A. Then B. And then back to C. That's all we're doing, just on the white keys. Watch as I play this, and then I'll explain a little more about this. Now remember, Away in a Manger is in the key of C, but it's in 3/4 time signature. This is what I want you to try to do. Whenever you see the C, you're going to start on C. If you see F, you're going to go up to F. So watch, I'm just going to start this here. Now my left hand was just doing 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 the entire time. I could take this up an octave and go clear up here, and it sounds really pretty when you do this. Now, that was Away in the Manger. My left hand was doing a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left hand pattern. What if I wanted to embellish the right hand and start to add notes to this? We could start by adding chords from each measure. Just start with the chord and play that. So we could start with chords. We could start to break apart those chords. If I have a C major chord, you have 3 notes in a C major chord. Let me pull this up here. We have C, E, and G. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those notes and I can change the inversion. I want the melody to be on top. In measure 1, the G is on top. In measure 2, the E is on top. So I do an inversion. I'm just playing the chords. Now, what if I start to break those chords apart? Again, I'm going to, instead of doing this, I'm just breaking the chord apart. I haven't really added more notes than the chord. I'm just taking the chord and breaking it apart. Okay, it's a simple chord progression. Let me come back to the front view here. It's a simple chord progression, and it's fun to play. I love teaching students and teachers how to do this. Oh, let me come over here and check one setting right here. Okay, good. All right, I'm just going to mute that. As you are playing this, as you are trying to come up with your own arrangement, I would love to have you see what you can do to try and create your own arrangement. That is what is so fun. It's taking the theory, taking the chords, taking scales, and then playing around with them. That's all I'm doing. That is really all I'm doing. And you can easily do this just by following what I'm doing and then copying what I'm teaching you how to do. I'm going to go back to the overhead view. I'm going to embellish the right hand quite a bit. Okay. Now, in order for me to do this, instead of thinking of just a basic triad, a 3-note chord, and we've talked about moving up according to the C major scale, just playing the triads. I want you to think of playing octave chords. This is a C major octave chord. This is a D minor octave chord. Now, I like to pull my fingers back just for demonstration. You wouldn't play it like that. You'd keep your fingers nice and curved, and you would just avoid it. But I'm showing you, don't play it like this. It actually takes a lot of practice to try and play it like this, but I do it so you can see. This is more for demonstration purposes, okay? C major octave chord, D minor octave chord, E minor octave chord, F major octave chord, G major octave chord, A minor octave chord, B diminished octave chord, C major octave chord, and I can do that with both hands. And we're just moving up according to the C major scale. You can change the rhythm however you want to, but watch what I'm going to do. Instead of playing the C major triad, I'm going to do the octave chord. I have to watch some music. It's a major octave chord. I'm going to do that up here, but I'm going to start to break the notes apart. See, I'm just taking the octave chord and breaking it apart, and my left hand, I can still do the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Now, I was taking octave chords, and I was breaking them apart. That's all I was doing. And again, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you would like. Watch the right hand here. I'm doing the chord, the octave chord, but I'm just breaking it apart. And I'm still keeping the melody on top. Sorry. I'm just taking the chord and breaking the chord apart, and then when you add that left-hand pattern, Sorry. We don't want to do jazz up with it. I mean, we could, but my finger slipped, almost like I was doing. Okay, you could jazz it up. I'm not jazzing it up for this one, but you could play it in any jazz style that you wanted. Again, you could take the song and you could play it essentially 100 different ways using the 100 left-hand patterns from my book. Now, that's in the key of C. You can take any song and you can put it into a minor key. Just focusing on the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern. 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. If I flat this and do an E flat instead, in the book, if I go back into my left-hand patterns, let's say I go back to the New Age Contemporary left-hand pattern section on page 20. So remember, I showed you pattern 62, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. Well, look at pattern 63, 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10. So the only thing we changed is we did an E flat. So you could put it into a minor key. You can do this with any song, and sometimes it's nice to do this. I'll take one line or two lines and I'll put it into a minor key, and it completely changes the way the music sounds, the way the music feels. And sometimes people will recognize and they'll say, wow, you just put it into a minor key. And I do that intentionally because I want them to feel something with the music. We could have this. If I did the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, flat the 10. See, this is 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. This is 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10. It's as if I'm in the key of C minor. The three flats, if I take E, A, and B and flat them, this is the key of C minor. It's the relative minor to E flat major. So I would play 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10. And I could do that starting on any key, but again, I'm going to be doing that. Let's say I just do 1, 4, and 5. Every time I see an E, an A, or B, I'm going to flat it. Or, if you want to follow the harmonic minor scale, anytime you play a minor scale, you actually have options and choices where you can play the relative minor, you can play, or natural minor, you can play the harmonic minor or the melodic minor. Right now, let's pretend like I was using the harmonic minor. On the 5, the chord progression for the minor key, we don't play the B flat, we play the B natural. It's because we're following the harmonic minor scale. The harmonic minor, the relative minor, and I'll show you in the key of C, it'll be a little easier to understand. Key of C major, white keys, C to C is the C major scale. If I go down a third, or go up a sixth, it's the same thing, but go down a third. That's the relative or natural minor. This is A to A, all white keys. If I did the harmonic minor, A harmonic minor, I'm going to raise the 7th up half a step. That's the harmonic minor scale. So in the key of C minor, we're going to take that 7th and raise it up half a step. So I could play Away in a Major in a minor key. I don't know why you would want to, but you could play it like that. You can take any song and you can put it into a minor key. You can play major, minor. You can take any minor piece and put it into a major key signature, or any major piece and put it into a minor key signature. Easiest way to do that is just take your 3rd, 6th, and 7th keys from the major scale and go down half a step. So if I'm in the key of C major, that's the key of C major. If I take my 3rd, my 6th, and my 7th down half a step, this is the tonic minor. C is my tonic. So if I'm in the key of C major, that's tonic major. Tonic minor, I just took the E, A, and B down half a step to play the flats. And now this is C minor, the relative minor to E flat major. Do you see that? Now, you could do that with any of these, okay? We wish you a Merry Christmas. Oh, we're at the end. Let's go back. For fun, let's look at this. Okay. Angels we have heard on high. See that on page 65. So here's Angels we have heard on high, a traditional French carol. Now, let's say we look at this one and we just try to play around with it. If you notice, we have C, E minor, C slash F. Remember, that means that it's in the first. Now, when you have C slash F, okay, that's a C chord. F is on the bottom, okay? If you had F slash C, that would mean that you would invert the chord, F major chord, where C is on the bottom. But since I don't have a C major chord, and F isn't in there unless it's C sus4 or C add4, and that would be true, okay? Then the F would be there. But if it's not there, you have a C major chord, F is in the left hand. Well, I'm going to play Angels We Have Heard on high. Here it's page 65. Oh, look at that. It's number 65 on page 65. I think that's the only time that happened in this book. Okay, so 65 on 65. So watch this. I'll just play, and again, I'll start out simply where the right hand plays the melody and the left hand just does the octave interval. Pretty simple, okay? Now, let's say that we wanted to do the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern that we've been working on. Again, if I start on C, this would be 1, and I'll play 1, 5, 8, 9, 10. If I go to E, I could play that. If I go to F or G. Now, we don't have time to do the full 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern. If you notice, this is in 4/4 time signature, okay? But look, we have a chord change every single half measure. It's not even a full measure. One measure would be 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We don't have enough time for that unless we cut out one of these chords. See how we have E minor? I'm just going to ignore that one. See how we have C slash F? See? I'm just going to play C for both of those measures right there. Watch, I'll just start out doing this. I'll go down to F for the second measure. Just to give it a variation. I went down to F right here. in this second measure, but then I quickly went to C. So in the first measure, I just cut out the E minor. I just got rid of it. So I played the full 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern on C, and then I played on F, but I only played half of it, and then I played the remaining half on C. Okay, right here, see how it says C, G, C? I'm just going to get rid of the G and C, and I'll just play C, doing the 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern there. Or I could go down to G. I may do that. That may be easier. See that left-hand pattern, 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, and I'm going up and coming down. That's all I'm doing. And we could embellish it, same way with the right hand, pretend like we're doing those octave chords. Start breaking them apart. Kind of a fun pattern. I mean, you could play this as a minor key as well. Remember, we're going to take 3, 6, and 7 and flat them. So I'm just flatting those. I could play Angel's Wave Heard on High in a minor key. Let's see. Oh. Okay, I mean, you could play it so many different ways, and it's fun to play around and just see what you can come up with, what you can create. That is the fun part about it. And again, I'm using the minor scale, but you have options. You can use the harmonic minor scale, the melodic minor scale. I can go through and change, or okay, you can use melodic minor, harmonic. You can play around with it and change it in so many different ways, and that is where the creative composer within is unleashed. The innovative improviser, because you can be an innovative improviser or a creative composer. You can change the chords. I have chords that I notated, but I could change. I could change and do you see what I did right there? I started following this chord progression, C major, E minor, C slash F, C major. And then for fun, I played C major, A minor, and then I went to a D minor, and then I played C major. So I changed the chords. Just because the chords are written doesn't mean you need to follow those chords. You can put in any chord you want. If I did C major, and then I went to the E minor there, F major, C major slash F, back to C major. Watch this. Angels We Have Heard on High, just the first two measures. I'm going to change the chords now. I'm going to play C major, A minor, then go to C major. No, I'll go back to D minor. So watch. What if I went to, let's say I went to G major right off the bat. And then I want to go to maybe an E minor. And then I want to go to C slash F. You can get some interesting chords. Now I'm mixing major and minor, and you can get some fascinating sounds as you're playing this. Now you can also take the chord progression that you have, and instead of just playing the C, play C sixth, play an E minor sixth, play C slash F six, C6, C6, G6, or play major seventh, or minor seventh, or diminished seventh, or augmented seventh, or play them all as ninths. If you played every single one as a ninth, then you get this very jazzy chord. This is the C major seventh, C, E, G, B. If I add the ninth interval, this is C, E, G, B, D. It's a jazzy chord. Many times they refer to it as C major 7 add 9. And you can have C minor 7 add 9. Most people can't reach that far, so they voice the notes between the two hands. C major 9th, C minor 9th, F minor 9th. And you can go through and get some beautiful sounds. And you could do that with the left hand, almost like a jazzy modal. So it's really a fun way to play around with taking a simple piece. In this case, we were just taking Angels We Have Heard on High from my book, 100 left-hand patterns every piano player should know, and we were embellishing, we were arranging. You can watch this video again. Again, we were primarily taking a 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left-hand pattern, and we were playing it major and then playing 1, 5, 8, 9, 10, where we flat the 10. So 1, 5, 8, 9, flat the 10. And those were just left-hand patterns that I randomly selected from the New Age and Contemporary Left-Hand Patterns section. This is found on page 20 right here. And again, if you notice, let's see, right there, pattern number 62 and 63. So patterns 62 and 63, that is what we are working from my book, 100 Left-Hand Patterns. I believe that is all we're going to work on today. Now, in the past, we've done an hour and 30-minute lessons for these weekly online group piano lessons. I've had several piano teachers who have said that they can't block off that much time. And so I think what we may end up doing is just doing an hour lesson every week and just do it from 11 to 12. So piano teachers, because they have busy lives, and I know they have so much they're going to do, but you can still go in and you can rewatch all the video lessons. Now, something new we're going to be starting in January for everyone who is part of our weekly online group piano lessons, and you have an active subscription for our essential piano teachers every single month. I'm going to come out with a new piano piece every Friday. And I'm going to introduce the new piano piece, and everyone who is part of our essential piano teachers, if you've purchased our Essential Piano Teacher Lifetime Studio License, then you'll automatically have this as well. But anyone who is part of our Essential Piano Teachers weekly online group piano lessons that we teach every Monday morning, you'll have access to all of those new piano music that I compose. Every week I'm going to be releasing one new original piano piece that I've composed, not an arrangement, but an actual composition. And you, as a piano teacher, will be able to download that, print that off, and I'm going to even give you the lifetime studio license for that. Every week, you'll get a brand new cool song, if you want to refer to it as a cool song. Most of the music that I come out with, they've been referred to as cool songs by piano students and piano teachers because it's something that they say the music sounds really cool, especially when I put minus tracks or something with them. But that is all we're going to be doing today for our weekly online group piano lesson. But let me know if you have any questions. Again, I will upload this within the account. You'll be able to rewatch this live within your online account on my website, musicmotivation.com. But thank you again to everyone who watches these weekly online group piano lessons. I would like to ask something from everyone. In January, we're going to be doing a lot of national and international marketing specifically for my Essential Piano Teacher's Lifetime Studio License, my weekly online group piano lessons for the Essential Piano Teachers, and for our Apprentice Stage, Maestro Stage, and Virtuoso Stage that we do every Thursday. We do those weekly group online piano lessons for non-piano teachers. But you as piano teachers, you get to attend those if you choose or if you have time to, where you can see how I teach non-piano teachers. And so that is something that you will be able to attend. What I'm asking is, I would love to receive a testimonial from you about how these lessons are helping you, how you have seen a difference or you've improved with your own teaching and your own piano playing. And if you could, I would even love to have or receive a video testimonial from you that I can then share on my website and my YouTube channel and in some upcoming promotional marketing platforms that we are going to be doing to help market and promote our weekly online group piano lessons that we do on Mondays and Thursdays. So if you can, I'm not forcing anyone to do it, but if you would like to, I would love to receive a video testimonial from you. And all you have to do is take your phone and then you can film yourself. You can just hold it in front. Usually I tell students, you can hold it like this, or you can hold it like that, whatever way is most comfortable for you. If you have a holder, I have holders all over the place where I can attach it, and then I can have hands free where my hand isn't shaking while I'm filming myself. That's even better, but you don't have to. But I would love to receive a video testimonial from you that I can share about these weekly online group piano lessons that I teach. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for everyone who attended our weekly online group live piano lesson that we did today, primarily showing you how to play Away in a Manger. And we're also working on, well, let's see, the patterns that we did 1, 5, 8, 9, 10 left hand pattern, and 1, 5, 8, 9 flat the 10 left hand patterns, and also Angels We Have Heard on High. Again, that's all right here from my book, 100 Left Hand Patterns Every Piano Player Should Know. I'm grateful for everyone who has purchased that book and all the piano teachers who use that book with their piano students in their studios. The book has actually, I think we've sold over 80,000 copies on Amazon alone. That's not even my website. That's just Amazon alone. So thank you so much for everyone who is using that book. It's one of our best-selling books that we have, but we have several more books in the series that we're coming out with, from Essential Piano Exercises. We've already done Essential Piano Exercises, Essential Jazz Piano Exercises. We did Essential Pop Piano Exercises. I'm going to be coming out with Essential Rock Piano Exercises. And then we're going to be coming out with Essential Improvisation Ideas Every Piano Player Should Know. We're going to be coming out with Essential Fake Book Fundamentals Every Piano Player Should Know. We're going to be coming out with Essential Chord Progressions Every Piano Player Should Know. So we have about 15 different books lined up. It's just a matter of which one we come out with first. So we will get to all of them eventually, but it may take us a little while to get every book out there. But thank you again. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. Thanks. See ya. Bye.